In Delhi, Sumita, has been resolved. Now, Rekha Gupta takes the reins as Chief Minister. Parvesh Verma is going to be her deputy. But can this duo now raise the bar on governance after the Aam Aadmi Party's bruising downfall? What went into the BJP's final choices? Will they deliver the change that Delhi needs? Sumita is going to break it down with an excellent panel right after this short break on India Tonight. Do stay with us. We'll be right back.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. You're watching India Tonight with me, Sumita Karira. Top story, well, the suspense is over in New Delhi on who's going to be the Chief Minister. BJP has made its pick. It's Rekha Gupta, who is going to be the new Chief Minister of Delhi after tomorrow's swearing-in ceremony at the iconic Ramlila Maidan, the first BJP CM in the national capital after 27 long years. It's been over 2.5 decades of wait for the BJP, which ruled Delhi from 1993 to 1998, and after handing out a defeat to the Aam Aadmi Party in New Delhi, BJP has now its own CM in the heart of the country's seat of power. Now, Rekha Gupta will be the fourth woman Delhi Chief Minister after Sushma Swaraj, Sheila Dikshit and Atishi. It will now be BJP's turn to come good on the poll promises that it made, particularly with a large focus on infrastructure development and improvement, and of course on women voters. In fact, the party has made its bet on the 50-year-old Rekha Gupta, who's a first-time MLA. Tomorrow, she will be sworn in as the CM of Delhi at the Ramlila Maidan. Like I said, it will be a high-profile oath-taking ceremony. The national capital will be witness to the event to wait and watch Delhi's tryst with the BJP and Rekha Gupta at the helm of affairs. We'll go to a stellar panel that will be joining us in a short while from now, but let's listen in from the CM-designate herself. After the Legislative Party meeting got over, there was a separate pull-aside meeting as well with top 3 key leaders. Let's listen into what Ms. Gupta had to say after the announcement of her name came about.
आशीर्वाद सहयोग और समर्थन के लिए दिल की गहराई से आभार।
All right, let's go to our panel, ladies and gentlemen, on this big story. I'm now joined by Pankaj Pachauri, senior journalist and broadcaster, and Aditi Fadnis, consulting editor of Business Standard. Thank you very much, Mr. Pachauri and Ms. Fadnis, for joining us right here. Since it's it's a woman who's going to lead Delhi, let me come to you, Ms. Fadnis. It's about time. There were too many men who've been in politics who ruled Delhi, and definitely time for a woman to lead the city. But first things first, what is the message that the BJP is sending out by choosing a woman to lead the national capital?
Well, I don't think it's as much the importance of choosing Rekha Gupta is not so much that she's a woman, but that she's a first-time MLA, has a lot of experience of municipal corporation politics. She, if you remember, was stood against Shelley Oberoi. AAP controls the municipal corporation of Delhi, and Rekha Gupta knows the ins and outs of that politics. So elections to the MCD are due, and the MCD is a very important element in Delhi politics. The second, I think, issue is that, that Delhi is run, as you know, it's sui generis, and it's run by Chief Minister nominally. The real powers are in the hands of the central government, which rules through the Lieutenant Governor. The relationship between the Lieutenant Governor and the Chief Minister has not been very happy in the past. So you're going to have a situation of lot of controversy.
Right, Ms. Fadnis. Let me take that point across to Mr. Pachauri. Now, Mr. Pachauri, while Ms. Fadnis is stating that it's not really about BJP choosing a woman to lead the national capital, but of course her credentials, and those are stellar. She's a 3-time MLA from Shalimar Bagh. She actually is she's been the leading face of BJP in Delhi. She won by a margin of 29,595 votes. She has strong RSS connections. So what is your take on the name that's been chosen by the BJP leadership to rule Delhi?
Sumita, Rekha Gupta has been dyed in the wool BJP leader in Delhi. She started her career as the ABVP candidate in Delhi University. After that, she has been 3 times councillor, and recently she's been mayor of South Delhi. But in choosing her, the Bharatiya Janata Party wants to cement this major victory they have achieved in Delhi after 27 years. Because if you look at the numbers, and I'm quoting CSTS reports, in these elections, Bharatiya Janata Party could corner 51% male votes for Delhi in these elections, but only 43% votes among women. And if you look at AAP, they had 49% votes of women and about 39% votes from men. So the men have supported Bharatiya Janata Party in a big numbers, but they think there is still scope and, as you call in financial terms, headroom to get more women voters towards it. So that's why they've chosen her. She knows she's from central West Delhi, Shalimar Bagh, and she won very handsomely by 30,000 votes from Brinda Kumari of AAP, if my memory serves me right. And she knows the central West Delhi because she's worked there as a councillor, and she has been a mayor of South Delhi, which is the Tony and comparatively richer part of Delhi. And she is come up the ranks. Akhil Bharatiya Vidyarthi Parishad, after that council, and after that she became a mayor. And this is the first time she won as a MLA. And the real surprise is that the giant slayer, Parvesh Verma, son of Sahab Singh Verma, he has been also anything. They want the women vote more, and they want the kind of male aggressive Hinduvadi vote. So that's why Pravesh Sharma also, he's also been named, and I think he will become the deputy chief minister. So BJP is not taking any chances because they've come to power after 27 long years, and they want to give a government which represents almost every part of this city, which is like country, and it's very difficult to run Delhi.
Absolutely. It's very difficult to run Delhi, and she has a massive and mammoth task ahead of course, solving some of the key infrastructural problems that Delhi currently faces, and of course, fulfilling the whole host of promises that the BJP made ahead of polls, including those freebies that were promised. Ms. Fadnis, I want to understand from you, of course, this is about her credentials as well, but when we look at Delhi elections and the kind of work that's been done by its candidates, Parvesh Verma was of course, he came out, or he was addressed as a giant slayer. Why was it that he was not the chosen candidate to lead the party in New Delhi as a CM face?
Well, both Sahab Singh Verma and Madan Lal Khurana, both of them have been at the forefront of more powers to Delhi, statehood in the real meaning of that word. So I think the government possibly, and this is the latent feeling among BJP that LG is actually running politics, so we don't have to do anything really very much. This feeling, I think the BJP did not want to give any encouragement to this line of thought. And in choosing someone who has never been chief minister before, you already have her in thrall, you already control her, and plus she will bring all the positive things that the BJP feels it must bring to the table, which is a strong woman who is articulate, who after Sushma Swaraj will lead, and basically people who thought they were becoming chief minister will serve as her number two, which is a very galling thing for a man to accept. So in a sense, I mean, I totally agree with Pankaj ji that that the BJP is now trying very hard to get the women's vote back. If you remember, Kejriwal had said that if all the women come out and vote for me, I will be the next chief
Absolutely.
minister.
Right.
I mean, that Did not happen, of course, but
Right, and that
this is
really
an
worked in
effort in that
BJP's favor,
direction.
Ms. Fadnis, and that's essentially what we also saw. In fact, in the manifesto that BJP released, which included offering 2,500 per month to women from economically weaker sections. This amount, remember, was larger than what the Aam Aadmi Party had promised. And let's, Mr. Pachauri, also remember the kind of remarks that BJP's leaders, one of BJP leaders, actually made against Atishi's, parents, her paternity, and of course, on the kind of comments that were made on Priyanka Gandhi as well, comparing Priyanka Gandhi's cheeks to Delhi's roads. So this is, of course, an attempt to also fix that kind of messaging as well. Of course, nobody is questioning Ms. Gupta's credentials, but now the key question is what is going to be Ms. Gupta's roadmap for Delhi, because surely there will be comparisons which will be drawn between her and Sheila Dikshit. So she has a tall task ahead of her, because we say that India is the fastest growing economy. However, their challenges galore when we see the national capital.
Yes, absolutely. If you look at Delhi, Delhi is like a small size European country. If you compare Delhi to any country in Europe, and not the very rich ones, we come very close to Poland in terms of our population in Delhi, about 35 million or something like that. Delhi is 33, Poland is about 35. Now look at the difference. Poland's per capita income is close to $19,000. Delhi's per capita income is close to $5,000. That's one thing. If you look at, we've been talking about all kind of human development on indexes. So you look at education, AAP talked a lot about education. They talked about health, mohalla clinics, and all kind of thing. If you look at Poland, Poland is number 34 in HDI index. India is 134 on HDI index, and even if you halve that for Delhi, because it has a lot of resources, being the capital of the country, we would be like 70 or 80 in terms of HDI index. So that's a huge gap. That's number one. Number two, when we talk about how these elections, what is the mandate of this election? The mandate of this election is actually, you and I, we are middle class people. We talk about the mess on the roads. The traffic is a real mess, and the roads are so bad. All those kind of infrastructure problems aside, but the vote in this election, if you look at the same CSDS survey I was talking about, people have voted, and this is post-election survey. So 25% of people have voted because they think the corruption has increased. That's number one. Secondly, and it's a huge chunk, 21% people voted because they want someone else. Because 15 years, we had Congress rule under Sheila Dikshit. Then another 23 years, we had the AAP rule under Kejriwal and then Atishi. So they wanted someone new to run the place. It's that kind of thing. Then comes governance. Bad governance, like 17% people said that they voted against bad governance, and on the employment front, about 10% people. So the top 5 reasons for voting, I mean, infrastructure is nowhere. So it's a funny thing that we think that Delhi people will be voting for infrastructure and all that. No, they are not voting on these issues. And that is the challenge, to make Delhi, we had just had the G20 summit last year in Delhi. And you knew the kind of things the government had to do. They had to put curtains to show, to hide the slums and the parts of Delhi they did not want to be seen by the foreign delegates. You know that Delhi may be a capital city, and compared to Bombay, people who always keep complaining that Delhi gets all the money, we are really in a very bad situation right now. 40 years ago, when I came to Delhi, the population was about 6 million. Now it's like 33 million. So you can imagine the kind of infrastructure we have seen. I mean, you talk to anyone, everyone says that in terms of infrastructure, Sheila Dikshit government was pretty good. 82 flyovers were built, and we have not seen that taken forward during 3 terms of AAP. So that's a big problem, and that's the huge challenge for the new chief minister.
Absolutely. Absolutely, and perhaps here's hoping that, of course, this governance lapse that's been seen during the Aam Aadmi Party's regime will be taken care of, and of course, there will be a push towards creating a better infrastructure for the national capital, better roads, given that Mr. Pachauri, it's BJP's very own leaders who actually went from one constituency to another, exposing what the condition of roads, what the condition of water in localities was really. But one final question to you, Ms. Fadnis, before we wrap up this discussion. What's transpired in Delhi elections? Of course, the Aam Aadmi Party's top leaders, including Arvind Kejriwal, have faced a rout. Should this election now be seen as just a blip for the party, or do the chances of Aam Aadmi Party coming back in Delhi, is there hope for that, or have those chances been reduced significantly? In fact, not just for Delhi, but for the other upcoming state elections as well.
Well, the first thing is that many of the central issues in the Aam Aadmi Party, which led to its debacle, to my mind, were issues relating to the way the Aam Aadmi Party conducts its business internally. There is hardly any internal democracy, and with the top leaders in jail, the party was running like a headless chicken. People did not know what they had to do. People were also not very clear who the real leader was. Maybe at this point, if Kejriwal had played the old card, which continues to have some significance, which is that I am going to resign from the chief ministership and I will never be chief minister ever again. I will only be the party president. So if he had done that, maybe people would have said, okay, now we can take a breath and figure out, where the party is going. Because frankly, I mean, he's barred by the Supreme Court from doing anything as chief minister. Even if he had won, he would not have become chief minister. Having said that, I think the biggest problem is that this issue did not figure in the election campaign at all. It may have been at the back of people's minds, but it was not an issue on which the election was run. The election was run on the issue of efficiency. Delhi government is just seen as completely inefficient despite having some very good ideas of governance. So and at every step it has, I mean, that also has to be acknowledged, it was stymied by the Home Ministry, including the project it had of delivering ration to your doorstep. So I think the new government will go back to tried and tested methods. They will not try anything revolutionary apart from the cash that is going to be delivered to women, which is a tested formula in other states as well. And they will just try to be efficient. They will try to do what they promise they will do. That actually is, people don't want to go in Delhi on flights of fantasy. They don't want to be led up the garden path anymore. They want solid development, solid institutions,
Absolutely.
all this ephemeral stuff about
Absolutely.
uh, dynasty and all these
Right.
things. It hasn't worked.
Absolutely. And Ms. Fadnis, it's really now time, for the BJP actually to get to task, to actually undertake all that it has promised. Ms. Fadnis and Mr. Pachauri, I would request you to please hold on as we have to slip into an urgent break. And of course, we'll continue the discussion after a very short break. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are in discussion with Pankaj Pachauri, senior journalist and broadcaster, and Aditi Fadnis, the consulting editor at Business Standard, on Rekha Gupta, who's being chosen to lead Delhi as chief minister. Remember, she will be swearing in as the chief minister of Delhi tomorrow. In fact, right before she actually reaches out to the LG for staking claim to form the government. In fact, we have some inputs that are coming in. In fact, Amit Shah has also tweeted about this development. But Parvesh Verma, who reportedly was chosen to be the deputy chief minister, his name seems to be missing on that front. In fact, Arvind Kejriwal has tweeted, he has congratulated Rekha Gupta and said that he hopes that the BJP and, of course, Rekha Gupta will fulfill all the promises that have been made by the BJP. And, of course, that the Aam Aadmi Party will be a constructive opposition. Let me come to you, Mr. Pachauri. Now, what will be the key top three priorities of Rekha Gupta as she assumes office? We've already seen the kind of governance work that has been undertaken by the BJP, even though a formal government has not really taken charge in the national capital. This cleaning of Yamuna already going on.
Yeah, see, there's now one big challenge before Rekha Gupta and the Bharatiya Janata Party is that now they do not have any excuse that the party there's a different party in power at the center and different party at power in Delhi. Delhi, in any case, during Kejriwal's time, has lost a lot of its power to the central government. So my fear is that she is going to be more and more under pressure to be governed from the top. So that is something which she has to guard against. Because if that happens, then Delhi will become almost an appendage of the central government. Delhi has a very different sort of a nature, as you know. There's NDMC area, there's MCD area, and then there's cantonment area. So to govern this city is very difficult. So that's one thing. That she should be, her first challenge is to be totally aligned with the central government. And that's why, if you know, the Home Minister, who's actually in charge of the Lieutenant Governor and administration of Delhi, he's the one who's leading that charge. So this has to be totally in alignment with the Home Ministry. That has its own problems because the Home Ministry doesn't have power over so many other things which are needed in Delhi, like infrastructure, like MCD. So MCD is still, there are pockets where AAP is still holding some power. And to get Delhi on alignment, I have a fear that the central government may change the concept of Delhi and run it like Washington, DC or something like that, where the central government and people sitting at the center can run this city efficiently in the name of efficiency, in the name of alignment, and in the name of infrastructure, in the name of security. Because let's face it, Delhi has a security problem because all the diplomatic missions are here in Delhi. So those are her 2 or 3 challenges. Other challenges are very far-reaching. You can't build flyovers. You can't fix traffic very fast. And the biggest of her problem would be that she doesn't have direct control of the police of this city.
Mr. Pachauri, I'm afraid I have to interject here because we're getting some live reporter inputs. In fact, joining us from the BJP headquarters is Mohit. But Mohit, yes, what are you picking up? Give us a sense of the celebrations, of course, what's going on at the BJP headquarters. What we are also learning, Mohit, is and correct this if this is wrong, Union Cabinet Minister Nitin Gadkari, Prahlad Joshi and other ministers have edited tweets and they have removed Parvesh Verma's name as Deputy Chief Minister. Why do you think that could be the case?
What we can confirm as of now is that the Rekha Gupta is the Chief Minister, next Chief Minister of Delhi. Yes, there were speculations. That Parvesh Verma would be the Deputy Chief Minister. But as of now, nobody who was present in the meeting have confirmed it. And when it comes to Nitin Gadkari, he has also edited that tweet. But he's a senior minister, and hence the questions are being asked. But yes, all said and done, Rekha Gupta is reaching LG House shortly from now. The BJP will be staking claim to form the government, and tomorrow is the day when the grand oath-taking ceremony of the next Chief Minister of Delhi, that is Rekha Gupta, will take place. From Prime Minister Narendra Modi to Home Minister Amit Shah to all the Chief Ministers of the NDA, all the Deputy Chief Ministers of the NDA BJP-ruled government, they all will be present in that swearing-in ceremony. Now, after the BJP will stake claim today, what we are being told, late night, the leaders of the BJP, few of the MLAs or the organizational leaders will meet, and what exactly would be the composition of the cabinet, that also would be discussed in that meeting. Tomorrow, but we are being told the cabinet could also take oath with the chief minister. But as of now, we have no confirmation that whether Parvesh Verma or any other would be a deputy chief minister or not. Now, given the fact that how several permutations and combinations were being worked upon by the BJP, it took them some time to announce the name of Rekha Gupta, and hence it seems that the caste combinations or the community which has voted for the BJP in huge number in Delhi, and to give out a larger national message that the cabinet composition would be around that. Only we can see that somebody from the Dalit community could be in the cabinet, the Punjabi one Punjabi MLA could be in the cabinet. So there are various names of various senior leaders coming out. But yes, as we speak, the BJP leaders, including the CM-elect Rekha Gupta, are reaching LG office to stake claim to form the government in Delhi. And tomorrow is the day when a massive oath-taking ceremony is being planned by the BJP.
Right, Mohit.
And Rekha Gupta will be sworn in as the next chief minister at around
Yes.
12 p.m. tomorrow at the iconic Ramlila Maidan.
Right. Right, Mohit. So, when it comes to the composition of the cabinet, we of course know the top three names that have been given by the BJP top leadership. But what we also understand is that there were two meetings happening this evening. There was, of course, one legislative party meeting, and there was one meeting that was a separate pull-aside meeting with Parvesh Verma, with Vijender Gupta and Satish Upadhyay present in that meeting. Help us understand if you're gathering any more details on the composition of the cabinet and who are the likely contenders for being part of the Delhi cabinet.
Well, just before the legislative party meeting of the BJP, a separate meeting was being held between Alka Gujar, who is the co-in-charge of the BJP, and Parvesh Verma, Satish Upadhyay and Vijender Gupta, three of the most senior leaders of the BJP and MLA in Delhi. Now, what the people over there say, what the sources say, is that in that particular meeting, all three were told that Rekha Gupta will be the next chief minister, and all these three leaders were asked to propose the name of Rekha Gupta as the next chief minister. Now, all these three leaders proposed the name of Rekha Gupta in the legislative party meeting of the BJP as the chief minister. So the first message that was being given to the MLAs about Rekha Gupta was given to these three senior leaders. They were the proposers of the name of Rekha Gupta, and after that it was being seconded by every single legislative party member, that is the MLA over there in that particular room. Now, when it comes to cabinet, as we were discussing earlier, now cabinet would be the mixture of youth and experience, and also the caste combinations are very important. The Baniya community, which has been the core voter of the BJP this time around, they've also voted for the BJP. Rekha Gupta from that community has been given representation as the chief minister. Now the Punjabi community could also be represented in the cabinet. The name of Jitendra Mahajan, Ashish Sood is also coming up. Both of them are associated with the RSS. They have been with the RSS for a long time. They have worked with the organization on the ground, and they both have the experience to work on the ground, and perhaps that is why that could go in their favor. Now, another name is also of Shikhar Rai, who defeated Saurabh Bharadwaj from Greater Kailash, and when we were traveling all across Delhi, Greater Kailash was a seat which was said to be the safest seat, but Saurabh Bharadwaj got defeated from there, so her name is also cropping up. Now, when it comes to Parvesh Verma, what exactly would be his role? Because as we speak, we do not have any confirmation that whether he will be made the Deputy Chief Minister or not, given the fact that how Parvesh Verma, his body language was not so active when he left. So maybe perhaps he was not expecting this, and given the fact how active he was from past many days in these elections too, and he gave a really tough fight to Arvind Kejriwal and finally defeated him. So whether he will be coming to the cabinet, whether he'll be the Deputy CM, that all remains to be seen. What exactly will happen to one of the most senior leader of the BJP?
Absolutely, Mohit, and how he was projected as the giant slayer, defeating Arvind Kejriwal by a significant margin. But one final question before we let you go, because this is going to be a long late evening for you, as Ms. Gupta really stakes claim to form the government tomorrow. Who are going to be the likely attendees? What more do we know about tomorrow's grand ceremony?
Yes, around 35 to 40,000 people will attend tomorrow's oath-taking ceremony. Now, as we were discussing earlier, the invitation has gone to Prime Minister Narendra Modi, to Amit Shah, to every single worker on the ground. But yes, there has been an arrangement for 30 to 35,000 people. The BJP has also called their workers from the slum clusters, people who have worked with the BJP from slum clusters, cab drivers, auto drivers, gig workers. They all have been brought in They all have been invited by the BJP for the oath-taking ceremony. So from Prime Minister Narendra Modi to the ground worker who has worked on the ground for the BJP, they all have been invited for this oath-taking ceremony. Now, the religious leaders, the priests from various temples, prominent temples of Delhi and all across the country, they are also being invited for this oath-taking ceremony. There will be cultural programs, what we are being told, and also all the NDA-ruled state chief ministers, deputy chief ministers, BJP-ruled state chief ministers have been invited for this oath-taking ceremony. So clearly, and also Virendra Sachdeva, I beg your pardon, the Delhi BJP president has also written to Atishi, the outgoing chief minister, Arvind Kejriwal, to attend that particular oath-taking ceremony. So it will be a grand celebration tomorrow at 12 p.m. Back to you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you very much, Mohit, for all of those inputs. You're reporting live from the BJP headquarters. It'll be interesting to see what really transpires in tomorrow's oath-taking ceremony. Like my colleague Mohit stated, 35 to 40,000 people are likely to attend that ceremony. Thank you very much, Ms. Fadnis and Mr. Pachauri, for patiently waiting, for me to return. But interesting inputs coming in from the BJP headquarters. Now, I have to ask you this. Who do you think are going to be the likely probable names who are going to be part of the cabinet? In fact, even for the chief minister's name, there were a whole host of names that were doing the round, including Parvesh Verma, Ashish Sood, Vijender Gupta, Rekha Gupta, Shikha Roy, Satish Upadhyay as well. And what's going to be the BJP strategy when it comes to choosing these members who will be part of the Delhi cabinet? Let me come to you, Mr. Pachauri, first.
No, thank you. That's a question only some astrologer can answer, because before this we did not know who Bhajan Sharma was, who Mohan Yadav was, and they were made chief minister. And similarly here, let's face it, that Bharatiya Janata Party and its central leadership, it had to tell the people, the MLAs of Delhi, that you do not matter much. You've done a very good work. You've got into power, us into power after 27 years. But when it comes to personalities, nothing matters. Nothing matters, basically. And that's why we don't know until yesterday. We did not know until 7:38 today. We did not know who's going to be the chief minister. So the cabinet, no one can predict that who will be on the cabinet. And as we are getting this chatter about Pravesh Verma, that he is a bit upset with this, you know that he'll be told that you stay here. He's done some good work. His campaign was very aggressive, bordering on misogyny, and that has got Bharatiya Janata Party 51% of male votes in Delhi. But at the same time, it has lost them women's support, which is down to 43% only. So that's why, to placate that particular vote bank, they have got a woman chief minister now, and Mr. Verma would be told to pipe down. And if he wants to join the cabinet, he can join the cabinet. If he doesn't, he doesn't. So we do not know that yet. One thing is sure, that tomorrow is going to be very big, as your reporter was saying, is going to be a huge celebration with all the, what do you call in BJP language, tamjham, of a big ceremony that the Bharatiya Janata Party has come back to power in Delhi. And let us face it, it's very important. The party who's won 3 national elections could not capture power in Delhi. And for them, it's a huge day of celebration. As far as the work of Delhi is concerned, I can hazard a guess that Delhi in the future, the way things are going, is going to be run like an department of North Block, which is where the Home Ministry is. And that is the biggest problem of this kind of an outcome, that Delhi as a state may lose its voice. Delhi is very complex and it should not lose its voice. I was looking at some tweets from other parties, even Arvind Kejriwal saying we are going to support and this and that. For the last 11 days, you haven't heard anything from AAP leaders who had come to power on a very aggressive anti-corruption campaign. So they have lost their voice, and my fear is that Delhi as a state may lose its voice if it's run from the central government.
All right, a very important point that you have made, Mr. Pachauri. Let me take that point across to Ms. Fadnis. Will there be too much centralization and will Delhi lose its voice? That's a concern that's been raised by Mr. Pachauri. Would you agree? And how do you think Delhi's governance will play out?
Well, you know already that the Delhi government has, the central government has passed a law basically taking away from the chief minister under the National Capital Territory of Delhi Amendment Law. It was passed in 23, taking away the powers from the chief minister or the government of transferring and posting IS officers. So that is now a power that vests entirely with the LG, who in turn is directed by the Ministry of Home Affairs, by the President of India via the Ministry of Home Affairs. So the fact is that Delhi has already been emasculated, and all the struggle that Madanlal Khurana went through and Sahat Singh Verma went through to give Delhi the powers that they felt it should have, well, frankly, they are not there anymore. You are going to see, and as I said earlier, you will see a situation where the LG will become a very important person. Because Rekha Gupta is relatively new, not new to politics, but new to chief ministership, she will take some time to settle in, and that period will be used to further consolidate the center's power. So Delhi is going to, in terms of governance, is going to look quite different from what it has been all these years, whether under Sushma Swaraj, whether under Madanlal Khurana, whether under Sheila Dikshit, and also whether under Kejriwal. It's not going to look like any of those state governments. As far as the tussle and the struggle for power within Delhi, it's okay. I mean, Delhi is very developed, it's very progressive, etc. But just below the skin, caste and regional loyalties do lurk very strongly. And Mr. Pravesh Verma made, his community, the Jat community, made no secret of the fact that they were feeling powerless and they were supporting him because they wanted
Right.
the honor of the Jats to be
Yes.
upheld. Similarly, Dalits have expressed themselves, and so have those who have come to Delhi from Bihar and Eastern UP, the Purvachalis, so to say. So, I mean, all these things are there. They're a fact of life. And how Rekha Gupta navigates those kind of feelings, we still have to see.
Yes, absolutely. And, very, very valid points that both of you have made about, how the governance of Delhi is going to shape up. We'll have to see the kind of policies that the central government really comes up with, and that actually turns out to be true. But on the point of Parvesh Verma, Mr. Pachauri, what's the message then being given to Jat voters, given the kind of, unhappiness that Jat voters had expressed, especially during, the farmers' agitation and, of course, during Haryana elections as well?
Yeah, Parvesh Verma has just tweeted that he welcomes the appointment of Rekha Gupta as the Chief Minister of Delhi, and he said that he has all confidence in Prime Minister Modi's leadership, and Delhi is going to be running on the road of development very soon. So that's one thing aside. So this whole problem with the chatter you were hearing about Parvesh Sharma not being happy with it, so that takes care of it. Now let's come to the Jats. In this election, if you look at the map of Delhi, the AAP has contained to very few areas in the middle of the city, in the center of the city, which is around these areas where they won the seats. On the boundaries of Delhi, where the rural Delhi lives and where the Jat population is huge, it's been totally swept by Bharatiya Janata Party. So that's one thing. So their contribution is quite high in the number of seats. Though that's one. Number two, the bordering Haryana also has gone to a non-Jat. So that is a problem. So within the Jat community, now Congress will get a good handle to beat the BJP bit that they are ignoring the Jats. And this is going to have an impact on Haryana also, because there also they have a non-Jat person who's become the chief minister. So in the future, let's see how it plays out. But this is the that caste politics which we talk about in Delhi. In Delhi also, there are other areas. Just a second. There are other areas where the Bharatiya Janata Party has to concentrate, and one of them is the center of the town and the middle class areas where the AAP is still holding some fort. So Arvind Kejriwal has also said that he welcomes the appointment of the new chief minister, and he's ready to cooperate in the development of Delhi. So there will be no voices of dissent as such within or without the BJP, from within or from outside. So their job becomes much more difficult now. Now they are in power at the center, they are power in Delhi. And as you said in the beginning of this program, that now the buck really stops with the Bharatiya Janata Party to deliver all that they have promised to Delhi as a double engine sarkar and all that kind of a thing. So it's now fixed. Their responsibility is fixed.
Absolutely, Mr. Pachauri. Absolutely, Mr. Pachauri. Let me take one final question from Ms. Fadnis before we wrap up the show. Ms. Fadnis, would you agree that all the worries that, perhaps that there was dissent brewing in within the party, the fact that, these tweets were edited by BJP's top leaders and Parvesh Verma's name wasn't mentioned, with this tweet that you see from Parvesh Verma, have those concerns been handled and, all of that conjecture been put to rest?
Well, I wouldn't say they've been put to rest. They have been temporarily suspended. But as I said, these issues of pride and caste and such things linger very close to the skin. And now we have to see how Rekha Verma placates Sahab Singh Verma's larger clan. Because Pravesh Verma is just a punctuation mark in the larger clan, how she handles the feelings of this clan. And also, there's another event which is going to happen, which is that the new national president of the BJP is going to be appointed. Now, that person will have to develop a relationship with Rekha Verma, as well as develop a relationship with, he may have to be a person who is independent of the current poles of power in the BJP, the Prime Minister, the Home Minister, and others. So now we have to see what kind of a constructive relationship he will have, and how much what role he will play in the running of the BJP unit in Delhi. Also, will the BJP now withdraw some of the schemes that the AAP had started, which were very popular if badly run, like the free travel for women in buses? Because when it was introduced, they were quite critical of it. The whole education issue, the mohalla clinics, will those run? Will they stop? What will happen to those things? We have to now go and see, and you have to step very carefully, because people don't like things being taken away from them, even if they are not run as well as they could have been run. So I don't know what Rekha
Absolutely,
Verma
Ms.
has in mind.
Fadnis, those are. Yes, we'll have to see how this government and its rule really pans out, because there have been concerns over the fact that the Aam Aadmi Party has claimed that all its guarantees or all its schemes will be rolled back by the BJP. The BJP, of course, has countered those allegations. So we'll have to see how that really plays out. And very, very important points made by both of you on how Delhi's governance will shape up. Will Delhi's governance become more centralized, or will the control really remain with the chief minister? All of that we'll have to see. But of course, Ms. Fadnis and Mr. Pachauri, all eyes are on tomorrow's grand oath-taking ceremony. Thank you very much for joining us this evening on ET Now and sharing your perspectives and thoughts on this big story.
Thank you.
And